Yes, my name is Armin Abmeier. I'm doing editing work and I do this for now nearly 20 years. And my main job was working as a bookseller and later as a sales representative for publishing houses. And so in 1991 I started with an idea to publish. And this publishing is the publishing of Die Tollen Hefte, which is a series of small booklets, 32 pages each, and printed in a very special technique as we call original offset printing, which is kind of lithography. And so I started with a good friend of mine who is well known as a teacher of illustration, and also he did also stage design, and most of his work was in the former German Democratic Republic. He's living in Berlin. His name is Volker Pfüller. He's kind of an inspiration. He inspired me very much in the form of Die Tollen Hefte, which is not just to have text on one page and an illustration on the next page, but to have very different illustration style, and he also liked to do his work, for example his posters, in this technique. So as we became friends, he was the first to do the first Tolle Heft with the name Wong Fun. The author is Walter Serner, who is one of my favorite authors from Dada, and he did the illustrations for this Tolle Heft. And I called it this Tolle Heft #1 because I, in a way, felt I want to continue this editing of small booklets, of kind of artist books, and the publisher is Maro Verlag, who did 15 of these Tolle Hefte as a publisher, and then he stopped this publishing. He couldn't continue because of his personal situation, and this is a very small publishing house with a printing office as well. So Büchergilde Gutenberg continued with number 16, and now we are preparing number 35, which for me is kind of a wonder, that these small things can be continued, find readers and even admirers, and the last one, 34, is now in the bookshops, and 35 is in preparation. The motive for doing this is, perhaps I'm an enthusiastic person, a reader of many books, and from my childhood on I was always interested in pictures. I was a reader of comics, and the second motive, I was always a collector. I liked very much to keep things. For the outfit of books, for the book, how books look, how books feel when you touch them, for all of this, I was always very much interested in chapbooks, in these small booklets that come in the market and that get lost after a while, because you read it, you throw it away. Science fiction, this pulp, as the Americans call it, was always something I liked very much. So I would say in German, I'm a Heftchen freak. A freak who loves chapbooks. And when I grow up, I was, in a way, I get informed about Dada. I saw something and I started to read avant-garde books, and I would say the Dada Hefte, the Dada chapbooks are also chapbooks I favor. I think they are wonderful, wonderful things in this very cheap outfit. This cheap outfit which looks like advertising things, like posters, pamphlets. It's not the valuable big book bound in leather which interested me. It's this thing which came out like a fly that only lives one day, and was very beautiful, and it's kind of very difficult to collect these things. So most of these chapbooks are lost, and I always liked rare things. Yeah, that's die tollen Hefte, which I continued for so many years now. And as my ideas did not always fit in this size, I also started a series of books, die tollen Bücher. These were not chapbooks, but books in different sizes, and I could publish, for example, comics. One of my favorite comic artists is Mark Bayer, an American who I think is very close to being schizophrenic. He's paranoid, and all of his work is kind of I draw things because I can't tell things, I can't write things, so I have to do drawings. So he did these very dilettante-looking comics, which I like very, very much. So I met him very often, visiting the States, meeting him in New York, and I bought original work, and at least I was editing 3 of his books in Germany. Yeah, another inspiration for all my doings is when I was traveling the United States in 1971. I was collecting underground comics all the time. I bought every comic I could get, even the bad ones, the worst ones, the ones that didn't look very artificial, very dilettante. And in the end, some of these are my favorites today. One of these authors, these comic artists, is Rory Hayes. So Mark Bayer and Rory Hayes, for me, are the outsiders in comic I like very, very much. I collected everything I could get. And yeah, my normal life in all of these years was selling books. So I was talking about books, and talking about books always made me, gave me a more intense feeling for what is in the books. I'm a talker. I'm not a stalker, I'm a talker. What I like is to develop my thoughts while I'm speaking. You know this very famous Kleist Essay über die allmähliche Verfertigung der Gedanken beim Sprechen. This is, I think, kind of a motto for my whole life. When I start to speak, my brain is getting nervous and busy, and I have ideas, and I'm not the guy sitting at his desk, at his writing desk, and developing things. Everything comes in my brain while talking or while traveling. I'm also a fan of developing ideas while traveling in the train. So, okay, that's one thing.